Today I'm working with a client, and this is the exciting part. It's all exciting, but we're in implementation and execution. So like in the consulting work that I do, there's like all the thinking part, there's the strategy, there's the figuring things out, there's tearing processes apart and putting them back together again. But there's also the part where you have to actually start doing the work, and you have to start kind of winning the hearts and the minds of the people who are going to make this stuff happen. It's also where you see like fireworks and people get defensive, or people get really excited about a new product and other people don't. Some people like change and some people don't. So it should be a fun day, and I want to talk about the process just a little bit. So what's great about this is there are two very distinct parts of the process. There's the part where you go in and you're coming up with ideas, and you're like I said, you're taking things apart, you're putting them back together again. And that's a lot of fun. It's challenging, it's intellectually, it's creative. It's just a great intellectual exercise, but that's just it. It's all intellectual. And then you get to the second part, which is what we're starting with this group that I've been talking about, and it's time to start making things happen. You have to be careful. You have to be careful because there's a real danger here that you don't set the expectation up right, and it gives people an opportunity to bail, it gives them an opportunity to get discouraged, it gives them an opportunity to not change because they just don't want to change, and it all has to do with how you set up the expectation. I've been working with this group for over a month now. It's actually been a couple of months since we initially got started, but we've really been hot and heavy into the work for about a month. And because they've seen me around a lot, because I've been real involved in asking questions and giving feedback, there's a tendency to think that, oh, now all the ideas come out on the table, all of the hard action items come out on the table, we're getting close to being finished, or we should start seeing results right away. And that is not the case. What's really important is that you set the stage so that everybody understands you are literally just now towing up to the start line. You haven't even started the race yet. You're just getting ready to start the race. And this is the beginning of a process that's going to stretch a long ways until we get to the finish line. Anytime you bring in somebody to help with any kind of change, there's this desire to view that person as having a magic wand. And because you bring in somebody from the outside, because you're paying them a lot of money, you expect that you should just be able to write the check and have everything the way you want it, or the way that they recommend it be, and there shouldn't be as much hard work to get from what they say should be the case to what actually is the case. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I wish I had a magic wand. Life would be a lot easier, but there's a lot of hard work that's just about to start. And one of the things you're going to find out is that a lot of the ideas and that intellectual part, that first planning stage, those weren't worth much. I can tell you that just from the result of that meeting I had the other day, about 10 to 15% of the stuff that we have put on the table, we decided not to do, because after we talked about it, after we got feedback, we decided those sounded like good ideas, but they're not practical, or they're not going to get us where we want to go. So you have to think about any kind of process change as a race. The problem is, if you don't set the expectation deliberately, intentionally, people assume that the race is like a 400-meter sprint. And when they don't make it around the track as fast as they thought they could, or it proves to be a little bit harder, they quit. And they think they're quitting 200 meters, 300 meters, 350 meters into the race, and they just couldn't pass the finish line, so they had to give up. What I want you to do is set the stage intentionally and communicate to everybody that this is a marathon. It's not 400 meters, it's not 800 meters, it's not 1600 meters, it's 26 miles. And if you see somebody running a 26-mile race and they quit 300 meters into it, you know they weren't serious about running the race in the first place. So when you set the stage, you raise the bar of expectation for what you expect out of people in terms of the amount of effort they put in, how quickly they expect to get there, how much work they think they're going to have to put in to achieve the result. And that makes all the difference, because this group that we're starting with right now, it's going to be 60 days until we get the process hammered out. And it's probably going to be 6, 7, 8 months before everybody's truly proficient. They've worked out all the kinks and they're flying through it, and it's adding boatloads of productivity to the business. But it's up to me, and it's up to whoever's leading change in your organization to set the stage and let everybody know this is a marathon, not a sprint. You guys are in for a lot of hard work, so don't quit on me 300 meters, 400 meters in. We got a long ways to go. See you guys tomorrow.